Iburu, Iboya, Ibuche, everybody in Cyberland. Coming at you. Your favorite Babalao. Omo Oshun dile que. At least I hope so. Coming at you with a sequel of Help Me Help You. So, with this sequel, okay, and I made this disclaimer with Olbe Otura on the last video, and it should be the last video that I posted. But long story short, some of these signs are super complicated, okay? And it takes a very trained and someone who understands not only philosophy, but understands technique, someone who's skilled in ceremonies, to sometimes walk people through some of these spiritual journeys. So, a lot of people, you know, I give a lot of information, and they want more. Or they have a sign that's very complicated and requires a lot of tender love and care. But that's why you got to pick the right godfather. So, what made me think about saying that is because this next sign that I'm going to talk about is Osa Meyi. Osa Meyi. With Omo Oshun. Okay. Osa Meyi by itself. Whew. One of the Meyis, one of the first 16 printable Oduns, brings with it a creation of the universe, a chunk, a story of a bigger story. All right? So we need to understand that a little bit. Specifically because in Osa Meyi speaks of some universal aspects, particularly the planet Venus, right? And it starts to talk about some of the creations in the space that we have today, which is Earth. But when something holds so much energy, when something holds so much responsibility, and we're talking about something that's so universal, right? We need somebody like Omo Oshun to kind of sweeten the deal. So I'm kind of glad that I have an Osa Meyi and an Omo Oshun to help balance that out a little bit. Now, Oshun, by no stretch of the word, is a feminine Barbie doll or whatever we like to depict her as. Oshun is a complicated, very complicated Orisha, and I've mentioned that before. So what I want is Osa Meyi, who I'm doing this video for, go ahead and look at my video about Oshun. Okay? Then I want you to come back to this video and I want you to see how she's going to balance Osa Meyi out. Because in Osa Meyi, there's an army of people talking. Okay? Army of people talking, especially Ododua. I mean, you got everybody, Osan, you got quite a few people. Okay. And the list is long. Okay, very, very long. So then, when I talk about Osa Meyi, without having to have this video being an hour long about Osa Meyi itself, I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of things. One, Osa Meyi's loyalty is to everybody. What does that mean? Osa Meyi cannot see the difference between man, woman, rich, poor, king, peasant. You know what I mean? They can't see the contrast of things in that aspect because they look at everything kind of the same. Osa Meyi has to be careful not to create an illusion of the life they are living. Osa Meyi sees things at such a high altitude. That's why we talk about the planets and the universe. That's the reason I even mentioned that, because I want to give you that idea and that picture. Osa Meyi is looking at things at such a high level of altitude that everything is just dots, right? Everything from a distance, everybody looks like little ants. Osa Meyi sees things like that, sees things very simplistic sometimes. Almost to the point where they see themselves as that giant of all those little ants out there. And they have a superiority complex almost, okay? Osa Meyi needs to be careful about those things. Osa Meyi can go crazy. Osa Meyi, you can go crazy. And for this video, you know, for the females out there that carry the sign Osa Meyi, this sign is particularly dangerous because of a lot of the changes that an Osa Meyi makes within the person. So when we look at it and we think about it in that sense, we gotta be very careful. Okay, we gotta be very careful. Osa Meyi, okay? Number one, okay? We're gonna humble ourselves, and you're gonna learn to take advice. Your way is not the highway. Osa Meyi, please understand, your way is not the highway. Alright, you gotta take advice, you gotta listen. Please, don't be the victim of not listening, because that will be your downfall. Osa Meyi is a representation of the air. And when Osa Meyi doesn't get his or her way, right, they negate and they push everybody's advice away. They don't care. It's what they want. And they stay in the air, never finding ground in order to find traction to move forward. Osa Meyi, please, 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 please start to step back and pay attention to what's in front of you and look at the moving pieces and pay attention to advice. If everybody in the room is saying one thing and you're saying something different, you're wrong. Does that make sense? Because when multiple people tend to say something to you, maybe it's time for you to start listening, okay? Osa Meyi, that's huge. It's imperative, all right? That, and again, when you humble yourself, because in Osa Meyi, the complex is so high that you always want to win. You want to win every battle. You want to win every argument. You hear yourself talk and boom, bad things happen. Osa Meyi has tragedy that follows them. Osa Meyi is very difficult to a certain extent. But when Osa Meyi is mentioned, we need to give thanks to Mafarafun Ogun. Okay? Ogun, who do we know about Ogun? Ogun opened up the paths for mankind, came to earth and started clearing out these paths. Right? Ogun has a long road ahead of him. Ogun is a fighter, a warrior, right? Mafarafun Ogun. Okay? Osa Meyi. One more can I say? Okay? Osa Meyi needs to look out because their family is not typically their family. Osa Meyi typically is going to have some type of frictions with their family. Okay? Osa Meyi needs to be careful about those things because their family is always going to be a burden. Osa Meyi, I'm sorry, you know, and I'm not trying to talk bad about nobody's family, but it's important for that fact to come out. Okay? Osa Meyi has a very beautiful ability, though. Osa Meyi is a natural spiritualist. All right? Okay. What does that mean? That means that anything that Osa Meyi really puts their mind to can come to fruition. But they got to be careful on how they get to that mark. Because if you do something out of pride, it'll all go to shit. Go to shit in a handbasket. I'm sorry to say the word. I don't like saying that word. But it's going to go bad. Osa Meyi, you have an ability to do some greatness. Osa Meyi is so great that Osa Meyi, all right, here's where the sign, this is where black magic, brujeria, the no kidding brujeria comes out of Osa Meyi. All right? And in this sign, this is the sign where people use to tie husbands and boyfriends. And this sign is deep, okay? In this sign, this is when somebody throws brujeria at you, this is the sign that flips that around and it goes back tenfold. So about what I was gonna care about, nobody throwing brujeria. Throw all the brujeria you want, bro. I got something for you. Oh, thanks to Osa Meyi. Osa Meyi is just a very complicated sign. I mean, I can go all day with Osa Meyi, but Osa Meyi, what's the main advice I can give you? Don't be hard-headed. Be humble. Follow advice. Don't create an illusion of what the world looks like without knowing what the world truly looks like. Understand philosophy. Sit back and value people, because that's what's important. You understand that you're going to have struggles with your family. That's Osa Meyi. So find a way to cope with that in order for you to be successful in life and in your spiritual journey. Okay? Osa Meyi, understand that how do you say it? Tragedy will follow. Okay? Tragedy will follow. But what defines you is how you handle that tragedy and how you're able to think and strategize through those things in order to be successful. Because Osa Meyi, you have the ability to move mountains, let alone you can move the earth. Osa Meyi, Osa Meyi, what a beautiful sign. I mean, I can go all day, but I hear when I think Osa Meyi, let me tell you, I think about Oya, I think about the Eguns, I think about the Du, I think about Agayu, Obatala, Osain. Oh my God, I could go all day. But anyway, the big thing that I want to make sure that Osa Meyi understands is understand that you are also kind of the sword of mankind, because you have that unique ability to not care the position of people, king, peasant, like I mentioned earlier. You're a sword and a beacon of goodness. No different than I said, you're the creativity. You are the black magic in the faith. You're the brujeria. But you're also the brujeria for good, because people do bad and boom, Osa Meyi pushes it back and destroys those people. Undiscriminately. Don't care who you are. You shouldn't be doing bad things anyway. And boom, Osa Meyi take care of you. So you're kind of that sword. And with that said, you got to be careful with certain things. Watch out for ulcers. Don't stress about things. Be careful about not going too overboard with something, because remember, Osa Meyi, you can go crazy pretty quick. So, you know, don't let your envy, don't let your anger, don't let those things affect your physical body, and, you know, to the point where you're going to hurt yourself, or you actually do something crazy. You kill somebody, anything like that. Please be careful. Please be careful. Okay. Okay. Well, it's 13 minutes. I talked a lot about Osa Meyi. But Osa Meyi, please do me a favor. Look at the Ochun video, because you're Osa Meyi with Omo Oshun. I mentioned that in this, Eguns speak heavily. Eguns. Why? Because when we talk about black magic, we talk about Osa Meyi, we talk about Eguns. Eguns have a lot to do with everything in this world. Everything is spirit. Everything has a spirit. Down to the leaf, down to the coconut, down to the seed. Everything has a spirit. Therefore, Osa Meyi can see it all and can feel it all and do it all. So please, look at the video for Ochun, because Ochun also has a lot of things to do with the Eguns and with the spirits and her struggles. And more importantly, in Osa Meyi, females who are Ochun also have a lot of things to do with menstrual cycles and some of the things that affect their bodies as females is represented in Osa Meyi. Okay, so with that said, Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche, 14 minutes. I apologize, I got very long-winded. Osa Meyi with a beautiful sign. Got a beautiful sign. Complicated, just like all of them, but they're all beautiful in their own way. All beautiful in their own way. All right. Give me a like, give me a share. Definitely la.regla.de.ifa@gmail.com. That's my email address. laregladeifa@gmail.com. Dots in between. la.regla.de.ifa@gmail.com. Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche, Cyberland. Fair Babalao. At least I like to think so, and at least I hope so for you. Checking out. Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche.